Hello, Mina. How are you?
How are you?
Wonderful. So I know that I emailed you the informed consent packet, which do you have that in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Well, first of all, welcome to therapy. I am glad that you're here. I want to make sure that you feel comfortable, informed, and supported as we begin working together. So the following information just kind of outlines how therapy will work, some of the benefits, some of the risks, you can kind of expect, and just your general rights as a client. So I'll go through each section. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. At the end, we'll go over any parts that you'd like clarification on, and I'll ask you if you'd like a copy of the informed consent. So keep in mind, some of this I may read word for word, and other sections I may just hit, some main points. So again, if you have questions, just feel free to let me know.
Sounds good.
Perfect. So some of the goals of counseling and therapy will work together to address, your specific needs. I understand that one of your goals is to learn more about your diagnosis of BPD or borderline personality disorder and how it impacts your life. We'll also focus on helping you build patience and calmness, especially when it comes to managing your feelings and being, a more patient mother. I know that was something that you kind of had previously discussed. We're going to work on healthy coping strategies and emotional regulation so you kind of feel more in control and are able to handle stress. And throughout this process, you will have input into what you'd like to work on, and we will adjust our goals as necessary. Do you have any questions about that?
Yeah, I did have a question. How do I know if therapy is helping me? This is something kind of I've tried before in the past, and I didn't really feel like it worked for me.
No, and that's definitely understandable. And it's kind of a hard question to answer, but I'll do my best. So, therapy is a process, and the progress can sometimes be gradual. Some sessions we might have might be super impactful and kind of intense. Other times it can just take a little bit more time. So we'll just make sure that you just know that I'm here to support you, and if something isn't working, we'll discuss it together to kind of make changes and make adjustments as needed.
Okay.
So, to kind of further go through the packet, just some risks and benefits of counseling. So, therapy obviously can bring up some intense emotions. It's kind of one of the main focal points that we'll be discussing when we're together, and it can be challenging at times. So, there can definitely be some discomfort there. But some of the benefits, include gaining a clear understanding of your diagnosis, developing healthier coping mechanisms for stress, anger, and overwhelming emotions, and improving your ability to communicate and build strong relationships, and especially with your husband and your children. Obviously, you've noted that that's important to you. I've understood that you've had some experiences in therapy where you didn't feel like it was helpful. And I'll try to be transparent with you about the process, and if anything feels unhelpful, we can adjust our approach together. Sorry, I think your sound kind of cut out there for a second. Could be
Oh,
my.
sorry about that. What if
Okay.
I'm not feeling better right away? Is that something that's normal?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is definitely normal. Therapy is not just an immediate fix. It's not going to happen overnight. But over time and, being consistent, I do believe that it can definitely help you.
Okay.
So as we move forward in terms of appointments, therapy sessions typically last between 50 and 60 minutes. We'll start out at once a week. I know that your husband, you said, works nights, so we want to try to find a time together that fits with your schedule. And if you'd like to explore other options such as telehealth, we can kind of discuss that a little bit further.
Okay. What if something comes up and I need to cancel my appointment?
No, that's definitely understandable. So I understand that life happens, right? If you do need to cancel, I just respectfully request that you give me at least 24 hours notice. If you miss an appointment or cancel late, you may be responsible for the session fee. We'll do our best to avoid that, but I'll be flexible to accommodate changes when possible. There's also times too where I have other clients and perhaps they were trying to schedule with me, but they couldn't get in, so maybe I could call them. So it's a case by case basis, but yeah, I do appreciate at least a 24-hour advance notice.
Okay.
Um, so I appreciate you bringing up, the cancellation policies, which we'll review next. So, cancellations must be notified via phone, email, or text. I don't really have a specific preference, just to make sure that you let me know. Phone video sessions should be treated as regular in-office sessions. If you are late getting on the phone or unable to talk at our scheduled time, your battery has died, or unable to access another confidential place to talk, or any other variable that would have you not be able to attend our session, please let me know and you will be charged for the session. So just, please make the necessary arrangements. You need to be available and present for your session. Any questions about that?
No.
Perfect. So this is kind of one of the main points of the informed consent is confidentiality. So confidentiality is important in building a trusting therapeutic relationship. What we discuss will remain private. That'll be between you and I. But there are a few exceptions to that. Specifically that could be required by law, such as if you're a risk of harming yourself or others, or if there's expected suspected child abuse. I do have to report that to the proper authorities. If I do have to consult with another professional regarding your care, I will definitely make sure to get your consent before doing that.
And then I do have a question. Will you be able to
Yeah.
talk with my psychiatrist?
Yes. So I do take confidentiality seriously, and I want to make sure that you feel, safe and open to sharing with me whatever you feel comfortable. Speaking with your psychiatrist is something that I definitely think would be beneficial because I think it's that coordination of care aspect. So for me to do that, I would need you to sign a release of information or known as an ROI. Is that something that you'd be open to doing?
Yes.
Perfect. So moving forward, discussing the telemedicine and technology assisted counseling. So we are obviously doing kind of like a telemed appointment as we speak. If this is something you're interested in, please let me know. Telehealth can be convenient and flexible. I think there's definitely some benefits to it. You're not having to drive anywhere. Kind of reduces the stigma of obtaining mental health services. Um, there's increased availability of services to homebound clients, or if you had limited mobility, which I don't think you do in your situation. But I do want to just discuss mainly like the limitations. So, obviously I can't see you or get a good feel for your body language. Or your like nonverbal reactions. So that might be a little bit of a hindrance, in terms of our therapy sessions. Obviously, we have technology issues, which I think we've already experienced quite a few of those prior to getting on this call together. So that could be, impactful. Obviously, using technology has its benefits and its cons. So clearly, I can't, 100% be certain that someone won't intercept this meeting or be able to listen in or eavesdrop or something like that. So just kind of keeping that in mind. um are you interested in doing the telehealth appointments, and if so, are you willing to sign and understand the TAC informed consent form?
Yes.
Awesome. An emergency situation. So if you are feeling unsafe, please reach out to 911 or contact the crisis hotline. I say that because I'm not always going to be available. I make myself available as best I can. But if you're experiencing a crisis or medical emergency, please contact 911 or the National Suicide Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. That should be documented on the informed consent packet as well. Are you able to provide on the form that you have in front of you, were you able to list the person's first and last name, relationship, and phone numbers for your emergency contact?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. So next we're moving forward with payment and fees. You will be responsible for payment at the time of your session unless prior arrangements have been made. If you'd like to use insurance, I'll help you guide through that process. We can also discuss a sliding scale payment if needed. In the form, obviously it shows the various fees. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but that's all the services that I offer. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No, not at this time.
Perfect. In regards to our therapeutic relationship, I understand that that may be a challenge due to some of your past experiences, and I want to emphasize that I'm here to work with you in a way that feels safe. So if you at any point, if you feel that this isn't beneficial to you, you don't feel like maybe I'm understanding where you're coming from, I just encourage you to let me know, notify me. I'm not perfect, and you'll obviously learn that as well. And I just want to make sure that you feel supported throughout our work together. Do you have any questions about that?
No.
Perfect. All right. So all that fun legal mumbo jumbo, but by signing this document, just acknowledging that I reviewed this with you and you understand the nature of therapy, the potential risks and your rights. You have the right to ask questions at any time, and you can discontinue therapy at any time. So again, if you feel like this isn't working, or you feel like there might be a therapist who may be better suited to help you or meet your needs, please let me know. There's no hard feelings there. I provide a service, and I just want to make sure that, you feel like it is beneficial to you. So by signing below, you acknowledge that you understand the information provided and you consent to participate in therapy under these conditions. Mina, would you like a copy of this informed consent? I know you have one in front of you, but did you want another one that I can email to you?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. So just discussing next steps. In our next meeting, we'll start by completing the biopsychosocial assessment, which will help me to get a more complete picture of your background, health, and goals. We will also begin discussing treatment plan goals, including your specific goals for therapy. If you have any questions about the next steps, please feel free to let me know.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time today. And obviously, this isn't, we talk about this one time and never have to worry about it again. If you have any future questions, just please give me a heads up.
I will. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye.